Corrections are encouraged.
Go get a cup of coffee in here, please.
I bet GD hits that StreamYard thing again.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Where's my buttons, man? We lost your buttons, dude. We can't have that. I have to have this. I'm sorry.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, I don't make you laugh, but maybe the guests will today. And then again, maybe not. The band definitely makes me laugh. Rush the off thing they got going on. Kind of like a Green Day Rush. I just had that like kind of like Tom Sawyer, right? Am I right or am I right? I'm right. No. Tell me I'm right. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday. Not a good day. Tuesday's never a good day. All the bad shit happens on Tuesday, and today might be no different. Anyway, Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. Year's almost over already, man. These years, they just fly by. Willie's going to be popping back in again. He was not supposed to be popping in. Don't pop in, Willie. He pops in, he pops out. They say content is king, but the truth is, good content is king. Shitty content is shit or peasants. But who decides what is good content and what is not good content? Because some of the stuff that we produce here that I really love, nobody likes, or it gets very few views, very few, no traction. Last night, I kind of hit pay dirt on several different networks with what I think is shit, nonsense, politics. I put out a short reel of me talking about congressional salaries. And man, oh man, did my phone buzz with notifications from every different network. People fucking got their want to put their 2 cents in. I guess I hit a nerve on that, but not like it's a secret that people in Congress make $174,000, but somehow become multi millionaires. And it just doesn't add up. And that's all it was. It was 20 seconds of me just saying that, and now it's going wild. Meanwhile, I'm putting out really funny reels of church service this weekend, church of last resort, and getting 44 views. Like, what the hell? What the hell, folks? Maybe I just don't know what's good and what's bad. That could be. But the stuff that makes me laugh, and the political stuff is resonating with people. Now, I don't want that to be my lane, even though I'm running for office. I don't want that to be my lane, but I got to put that out there because I do want to make a splash in this election. Anyway, I got before that, there is a new study out. They found a drug that, when tested on lab rats, is as effective as male ED pills, boner pills, erection pills, but also makes lab rats penis is much bigger and has no side effects of traditional ED pills. The bad news is my wife ran away with a lab rat, but we'll deal with that. I don't know if that's bad news. Maybe it's good news. Good for her. She found a lab rat. Let her be happy. Stunning news in Rolling Stone. JFK Parkland doctors come forward. Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone. How about that? You shocked? I know I'm pretty shocked. Yeah, a lot of weird shit going on in the news here. So anyway, yesterday was our 500th, my 500th show. Or I should say ours, but listen, if I'm being honest, the Willie and GD have probably been, and GD wasn't here yesterday. It was the Rev was here in his place. Funny, you never see them in the same place at the same time. But yeah, maybe 60 shows between them. Am I being a little generous or being a little cheap with that? Well, they're not 500 shows. I got 500 shows. Actually, it's probably about 2,000 shows with the the evening show, which is now it's on its last legs. The evening show. I'm probably gonna not do it in 2024, because I'll be running for office, man. I ain't got time for that crap. Anyway, we don't know if we're gonna do that. I shouldn't say I'm gonna cancel it straight out. Got a good show for you today. Melvin Hayes, hopefully will be here. He's in San Diego, California, and he's the early guest. So that would be 6:15 for him, which is in like 5 minutes. And he makes his own ginger ale. And then in the second hour, Joe Real Deal Davis, who is a former MMA guy, wrestler, and fitness guy, or still a fitness guy, but is now a stand-up comedian and a motivational speaker, by the way. Who's kind of excited about being here. Now, before I bring the gentleman in, I got a couple of emails, not a lot, 2 or 3, maybe probably 2, but 2 is enough, saying I'm being too hard on Willie. I'm not being hard on Willie. I'm fucking with Willie. If I didn't love Willie, I wouldn't have him on the show. I'm not bullying Willie by saying I think somebody reacted to me just making a little bit of fun of him not being very concise with his stories. And listen, I'm fair game. I have just as many fucking quirks as he does. And I'm fair game. If anybody wants to point out the stupid shit that I do or the stuff that drives people crazy that I do, and I know there's a lot of it, feel free. I'm fair game for that. I can take it, and I think Willie can too. So you know what? Let him stick up for himself. He doesn't need your help. He's capable of telling me to shut the fuck up anytime he wants. Of course, there is a freezer we could put him in if he does go over the line a little bit with that. No, I'm kidding. The freezer's already taken up. It's already full of bodies, full of dead bodies. Anyway, bring the guys in right now. Let's say hello to GD and let's say hello to Willie. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
In harmony almost. Well, kind of unison.
I don't always drink coffee, but when I do, I get the shits. Mine dog coffee.
Well, you could say this show is the shits, and so it all kind of flows together. And when I say flow, I mean diarrhea.
You know, I think Willie, you need to man up and stop having your wife write these letters.
Yeah, listen, I don't know.
No, it wasn't Kelly, by the way. Neither one was Kelly.
I think I'm here for my quirks. I thought, kind of.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. That's what. But yeah, no. I've been getting made fun of my whole life. It's pretty old hat for me. It's all right. I don't mind. Sticks and stones, that kind of thing.
Speaking of Sticks and Stones, Sherrod Brown is going to be there Friday night at Sticks and Stones Comedy Club. So might be on tomorrow.
Awesome.
Abby wants Sherrod Brown on tomorrow to promote his show Friday night at Sticks and Stones, but he hasn't gotten back to confirm. And I suspect it's because he saw yesterday's show and said, "I don't want any fucking part of that fucking zoo." So that could be the case. But anyway, I'm not sure the first guest really understands time zones because it was so eager to say yes to a 9 o'clock or 9:15 appearance, but it's 6:15 for him. I can't imagine a comedian being excited about being on this show at 6. It's not Joe Rogan. I can see them being excited about being on Rogan, but this show at 6:15 in the morning, I think he's probably.
Well, this made I was unable to find like almost. You're talking about
Melvin Hayes, yeah.
I couldn't find I found like 19 Melvin Hayeses. One of them is a comedian dying of colon cancer, or
right, the English guy, but he spells it with a Y. Melvin with a Y.
Well, that's a different Melvin, the one with that Y. Yeah, but there's a black Melvin Hayes who's old and black and thin, and I saw his clip from Cozy's. And he opens up saying he's diagnosed with colon rectal cancer, but it's not this guy because.
Now, how many views did his colonoscopy get?
I don't know, but my colonoscopy.
Did you put your colonoscopy online?
My colonoscopy got 6 views. Okay, the Reverend's episode 5 got 4 views, so my colonoscopy got more views.
Keep in mind, the week after daylight savings is when it really starts to hit people. I mean, it generally takes a couple of days to sit in, and then it takes about a week for people to start recovering. I know it was difficult for me to get up Sunday morning too. So.
Yeah, well, daylight savings time, that needs to be stopped. That bullshit needs to be. Well, I thought it stopped. I thought they'd signed something like back in Biden's first week of office because they knew how it was going to affect him to get rid of daylight savings time. But
how it could affect it? No, they don't. They don't make laws specifically for the president.
Oh no, they do make laws specifically for presidents. They do. We just don't know that's why they're there because they cover them up. Prohibition.
I think there was a they tried to not a bill, but just somebody suggesting that they write up a bill about it, but there was no support for it because they did listen to me wheezing with the COPD in the 70s when we were kids. I don't know if you remember because you probably just thinking about your colonoscopy all day. But in the 70s, they tried that, getting rid of daylight saving time during the gas crisis or the energy crisis there.
Right.
And kids were getting run over at the bus stop.
Yeah, but that was on purpose. They was just...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know that, but they just drew a conclusion that, maybe it must be because it's too dark out, and that's why they're getting run over.
No, that's like when they tried to pin polio. Was it polio? No, what was it?
Mean polio down by the schoolyard?
Yeah, they tried to blame polio on soda. Well, I think it was polio. There was some disease that goes up during the summer, and so they did the correlation that when that disease goes up, so does the intake of soda.
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it's like, no. How about the fact that it's just that's when it happens? They were conflating causation and correlation. They do that a lot when they want to get rid of something. They're so quick to put those two together.
Now I got a notice this morning on my YouTube channel that they took down a piece of content I did 2 years ago. It was part of I think it was the afternoon show. Let me find it. Because it's kind of interesting, and if you were conspiratorial minded, you might say, why are they taking that down? Where's the notifications here?
I like how you said if you're conspiratorial minded, and then my listening perked up. I was like, ooh, what's he about to tell us then? I didn't know that about myself. Maybe I should look at that.
Well, I don't know. You seem a little gullible to me.
I mean, no, that's you know what, that's a fair thing to say, I think. And I think I've been that way pretty much my whole life. Because man, I would get, but gullible to me, gullible is like too trusting. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I
That's
trust
what I
that
mean.
what people tell me is gonna be true. You know
Well,
what I mean? Like
what
I don't
I have in mind.
anticipate people to just lie to me about things.
Right. Well, what I'm thinking of is the lady with the patches that's gonna fucking save your life. Just put this patch on, and it will cure everything. Your hemorrhoids will fucking
Okay.
get.
So I want to say though about that lady. So those patches, it's
Green.
from everything that she was saying, it seemed like there was like a certain stone or something like that, crystal that is infused in those packages or whatever.
Right.
And listen, bro, there's a reason that there's sometimes that I'll take my shoes off and go stand in the dirt or stand in the grass and face the sun for 15 minutes in the morning. There's a reason I do that shit, bro. Like,
yeah, it's called rehab.
No, it's called grounding.
There's a long gap between what you're talking about, grounding or all that kind of stuff, and put this patch on, and it will cure everything that ever ailed you and make you young again.
Right. All right. If Nikolai Tesla said that everything was about frequency and energy and vibrations and all of that kind of thing. Okay. So what that lady was talking about was how this thing has this crystal in it that gets charged by the light of the sun. And listen, even on a small, there's so much happening on microscopic levels that we don't see. Like this bowl right here is vibrating like fucking crazy. This solid thing right here is just vibrating inside. You know what I mean? Like everything is a vibration, bro. So if you're doing something to change that vibration level around your person, you're going to change shit. Guaranteed. And it sounds hokey. It sounds like fucking fluffy fluff cloud bullshit. But Nikolai Tesla would fucking disagree.
Well, he's dead. Think about that.
Right, but in his conscious state, that dude would tell you that there's something to that.
If Nikolai has spent more time working on the patch instead of on his transporter, he might be around.
Right. There's in El Dorado, James Caan character says to John Wayne, Johnny Diamond never carried a gun, and John Wayne says, he's dead. Think about that. If Nikolai Tesla knew anything, he'd still be if he knew anything about the fountain of youth.
I mean, that's not necessarily true, because I mean, look at how much that dude did. And look at how much science is still catching up to what the fuck he was onto. I mean, come on, bro. You can't.
If he
just
knew
he
about the fountain of youth, he'd still be here.
He is.
I mean, he definitely still exists on some plane.
He's still here.
Also true.
Matter of fact, just yesterday, him and Elvis and Tupac were discussing the theory of relativity with Einstein.
Now, I'm pretty sure Tupac is rapping on some island in the Caribbean somewhere. I saw a video. Did you see that video? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
There's some video of this guy that like would be around Tupac's age now, rapping like a motherfucker, sounding just like Tupac in some Caribbean island. I'll have to try and dig it up and find it. But yeah, there's some guy in the Caribbean islands that they think might be actually the real Tupac.
Wearing a patch?
Yeah, he was wearing a patch.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
Did he have bullet holes?
I got bullet holes. I'm still here.
No, I'm just saying because Tupac doesn't have bullet holes. If that guy's running around rapping like Tupac without the bullet holes,
right.
I'm saying that's not.
You
Tupac.
know what? Hey, no, that's a good point. Like, even if it's just from when he got shot before, we could we could be like, we know where he got hit and shit like that. Oh,
that's how we know John F. Kennedy's not around, because if he was around, there'd be a guy with a hole flapping like
in the back of his fucking head.
Yeah, and every time the wind blew, it'd be like, he'd be whistling.
He'd be refilling on his thoughts.
Here it goes. I finally found this dopey letter from YouTube. Maybe because I reviewed it and it got pushed down. We want to let you know that we reviewed your content. Now, keep in mind, this is 4 years ago now. We want to let you know we reviewed your content and we think it violates medical misinformation policy. We know you may not have realized this it was a violation of our policy, so we're not applying a strike to your channel. However, we have removed the following content from YouTube. It was called Beguiled, Eden to Armageddon, Volume 1, 2, and 3, The Rise of the Antichrist. Now, it was a Southern lady, I don't remember her name, who was the author. She was a pastor, a hellfire and brimstone pastor, and she was telling me that we were in the end times and all that kind of stuff. But she must have mentioned the vaccines in some some context about as proof of the end times, and that's why they took it down. But why
so you
now?
said it was 4 years ago, though? Because that would be 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Wow.
End of 2019, probably like let me see when it was. Actually, no, it was January of 2020.
And what was the lady talking about? Was she talking about
the rise of the Antichrist?
Oh, right.
So she was talking about Trump.
Well, she didn't say. She didn't name the.
She didn't name the Antichrist.
Yeah, of course not. Beguiled, Eden to Armageddon, volumes 1, 2, and 3, The Rise of the Antichrist. Was the title of the video. I forget the lady's name, but I'm sure I could Google it with that and find out. Anyway, so it's just like, why are they taking that down now? Why did it take 4 years for them to find that?
Why are they looking 4 years back to see what they want to get rid of?
Dr. Joyce, what's her last name? Joyce.
You know what I think is happening? Remember when things went from microfiche to digital, and people are just going through and had to watch look at everything that's on microfiche so they can type it in to put it on computer. I think that's what's going on right now.
I used to do that.
Yeah, well, they're going through everything that's on the internet right now, one piece at a time, so they know.
Probably.
Nah, I'm certain they have bots that can do that.
Yeah. See, that's that robot work that's going to be happening, bro. I was reading an article about the Rutgers University in New Jersey is got fucking robot security on their fucking campuses now, and it's going to start being in the New York subway system. Like, they made a deal with the New York PD and MTA to start having robots as security in the subway system, and at Rutgers University, I think they're already there. Right? That's what RoboCop shit, bro. It's happening. It's fucking here.
Was it the X9? That thing that goes, you have violated code.
Stop picking on Willie.
I
can't even talk to my wife anymore about stuff that I find out on the internet, because she does not want to know anything about what is happening in the world right now, because the world's going fucking bananas. Like, this world is changing so fast.
Dr. Joyce Jeffries Pugh was her name. Dr. Joyce Jeffries Pugh.
What was her last name?
Pugh, P-U-G-H.
Oh, okay.
Pugh or Pug. I don't know. It sounds better, Pugh. She makes me want to Pugh. But I don't know how. So it's just the idea that this Armageddon thing is like, because they have all these Christians and now the diehard fundamentalist Christians are going off on this end days idea. And I'm just wondering if, we can't let them. It's a Google thing to kind of take all references to end days, Antichrist, Armageddon, all that kind of stuff down. I don't know. Because I don't think she went deep into. She certainly didn't go that. I've had guys who on the show went really deep into the vaccine stuff and their beliefs about, putting chips in it and all that. They didn't take that stuff down. I'm not asking them to go looking for shit to take down. Believe me.
Yeah, right now they're watching, they're listening. Actually, that's what it was. It was what what the police do to you when they just drop a little bit to see what else you spill by accident. So, well, thank God. I mean, they found my nickel bag in the bathroom, but thank God they didn't go in the living room and get my Coke.
Now, for the benefit of our younger viewers, please define what a nickel bag is.
Well, isn't that band? Weren't they a band?
Yeah, from Canada. Yeah,
yeah,
that sucky band from
Nickelback?
Canada. Nickelbag.
Nickelbag. They're a band from Canada.
Anyway,
are you talking about a coin purse?
See, you really don't know what a nickel bag is, do you? You know what a dime bag is? A nickel bag is.
You mean for like weed?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we mean.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I suppose people don't really sell it like that anymore.
That's why I said
if you come across anybody that sells less than a 20, let me know.
No, but that's why I was saying, for the benefit of our younger viewers, define what a nickel bag is. And because my memory, a nickel bag was 2 fingers across the bottom of a
little brown envelope, and those $5.
Yeah. And then a dime bag was 4 fingers.
Speaking of which, I got that from Jackie. I'm still trying to open it. Fucking, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he gets he's very security conscious.
Yeah, no kidding he is. Yeah. Like, I got through the first level and I realized there was another level. And I was like, God damn it.
It's like one of those fucking Christmas presents that it's a gigantic box. By the time you get it, it's like a fucking ring.
No, I did that to my mother one time for Christmas. I fucking got this huge ass box. And like, do you remember this years ago when Pepsi came out with Pepsi Clear in the 90s? Do you remember that? Pepsi went clear for a hot minute. And so what I did is, my mom was a Diet Pepsi drinker. And so I took 4 20-ounce empty bottles of her Diet Pepsi, and I filled them all up with water, and then I even glued the seal part so that she wouldn't like notice that the seal was already undone. And I put those in a box, and now I put a real present, which was like, I'm sure it was like a necklace or earrings or something, because I usually got jewelry for my mom for Christmas and stuff. And so there was a real present in the box, but it was a big ass box that had and I think I did 6 because I wanted to get her a 6-pack. So I did 6 20-ounce bottles of water that I told her was I had somehow gotten a hold of the new Pepsi Clear before it even came out, which you want to talk about gullible, it must run in my veins, because my mother totally took me at my word when I told her that. And so she opens up this bottle and like takes a drink of water that's been sitting in the bottle for like, I don't know, a month and a half. This fucking bottle. She's like, oh, what is that? And I was like, that's just water. That's not your present. How would I get that, Mom? How would I get the new stuff before it comes out? I don't know anybody.
I'm watching GD's face as you're telling this story. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on between his ears as he's listening to you tell that story. So I think I was right about this Melvin guy, right? It's 20.
Oh yeah, he's probably
25 minutes after, and he probably forgot that. But he was so excited. I mean, he was like, it always boggles my mind when people are excited to be on this show. I feel like I have to listen. Nothing is going to happen to your career. You're not. You're going to be on this show, and you're still going to be nobody the day after.
Happened to me because of you in the show.
I don't think Melvin's a real person. I'm sorry, he had no media presence. I couldn't.
Oh no, I found him. I found him doing stand up.
Really?
Yeah, 1 or 2 videos. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
I couldn't find anything, so I immediately thought to myself, well, obviously, if he doesn't want to be found, he's like one of those witness.
I was a little nervous. That's why I called you, because I was a little, or I asked you about it when we were on the phone the other day, because I was a little nervous. I have made the mistake before. Joshua K. Smith, Pastor Joshua K. Smith. There are 2 of them. One of them's white and one of them's black. On the promo stuff, I had the black guy, and then the white guy showed up, and I was like, oh boy, people tuning in, seeing that, are probably going to be like, what the fuck is that?
And they do that at church a lot too. They're like twins that you don't know which one you're going to get. They date the same woman.
Oh no, they were completely different. the black guy that I did the research on, he was a real deal fire and brimstone Southern pastor. And the one I had on was the guy who wants civil rights for robots.
Yeah, yep, that's
So
them.
I did the research on the wrong one completely.
They're like the Patty Duke show. They preach you like, they reach you like, you know, they teach you like.
They don't look
crazy.
They don't look alike.
You're talking about black and white television. I just want you to know that.
Yeah,
we remember. We remember. Those were the good old days.
I'm just bringing.
What, you don't like black and white TV?
The thing is, it's like, you know what? I can actually see the whole opening scene of the Patty Duke show dancing with herself in the fucking doorway or whatever. Yeah, all that. I
Nick at Night has some reach, man.
It did for real. I believe me, like us kids did not control the television. We watched what my parents wanted to watch. So I mean, you know, like old stuff is what I'm like. You know, Leave It to Beaver, and you know, My Three Sons? I think it was My Three Sons.
Yeah, My Three Sons. We talk about reach. I mean, she was like 73 years old, and she was playing a teenager. She was playing twin teenagers, and she was like 70 something.
What?
No, she was.
You saying that Patty Duke chick was like old?
No,
she was not a teenager. She was like
Patty Duke is about 15 to 20 years older than me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But back in the
she
show,
was in her 20s.
She was really
like look at Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio played a high schooler, and he was like well into his 20s during the first Karate Kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She was like way too old. Yeah, she was playing like a.
Yeah. I think Opie was 40 when he was on Happy Days playing. Ron Howard.
Well, he was 26 when he was on the RFD. He was in Mayberry. No.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, he did start very young. He started in the Music Man, believe it. Listen to
how many people you think learn how to whistle?
Coming down the street. Yeah.
How many people you think learn how to whistle from the Andy Griffith Show?
Nobody.
I learned to whistle because of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's right. That's where everybody learned to whistle. They learned to whistle.
My wife can't.
We already knew how to whistle.
Some people can't do it, you know.
We already knew how to whistle, but when you heard The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, everybody was doing the.
Yeah,
I can't do it anymore now.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You'll never get up there anymore. You've lost your high whistle.
I lost my high whistle a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. There was some other story that I wanted to. Well,
that's the music that always plays when I prepare to masturbate.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's the show for today, folks. Oh boy. I don't know if I don't even really want to go down this whole why they're talking about Oswald. The doctors who did the autopsy are coming out now because it's almost the 60th anniversary. Next week will be the 60th anniversary.
So, how do the autopsy doctors have any knowledge of whether or not he acted alone, though? Like that doesn't.
Well,
unless he had a note in his pocket to the other guy.
No,
you know what I mean. Like,
if you have two entry points in the head
from different directions,
right? From two different directions.
Okay. I thought you were talking about Lee Harvey's autopsy doctors, not John. Oh, okay. Oh, so the magic bullet theory is now no longer valid.
According to the doctors,
bullets are still magic. The bullets are still magic. You have to plant them in the ground, and then a beanstalk will grow.
Keep in mind, these doctors, even if they were young in 1960, let's say they were 25 years old, because that's what even you're an intern, but they had to be at least 25 in 1963. That would make them 85. Now, I guarantee they were older than 25. They got to be in their 90s. Who's to say what they're just babbling idiots at that point? I'm sorry.
Right. Look at both.
Maybe these are interviews that they took back when their brains were a little bit fresher, and they're just releasing them.
And your Rolling Stone magazine would wait. Oh, let's wait on it for another 30
No, they're
years.
just getting the interviews. What I'm saying is they're just getting interviews. There's a lot of stuff that they had back then that they won't let us see. And all of a sudden, freedom of information.
Right, there could have been a gag order, I'm sure. Maybe, yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's like, and every time they're supposed to release the information, another president comes along and says,
"Oh my!
Now why am I not releasing this again?" And they show them the Zapruder film. They show them the Kennedy assassination from a fifth angle, and so they go, "Oh, that's why we're not releasing it." Got it. Okay, yeah.
By the time, well, I'm gonna say stuff that'll just get me banned, so fuck that. I'm not gonna do it. Let's switch gears here. Ian sent me a video last night about Tom Segura. Have you heard of Tom Segura?
No, who's that fucker?
Is that a plumber? Oh, that's Joe the plumber. I was thinking of Tom the
Actually, thing does a deep dive into his whole family background and his not a really deep dive, but turns out he's a trust fund baby for a 5-generational very rich silver spoon kid.
Well, no wonder he hates the poor.
Right, yeah. And Bert Kreischer, it starts with Bert Kreischer on an episode that I've seen this clip 1,000 times where Kreischer saying, Tom Segura wasn't always poor. There was a time when he was just living on pecan pie. And as I'm thinking, like, that's Marie Antoinette. Let them eat cake. I mean, he wasn't living on pecan pie because he was fucking poor. He was living on pecan pie because he loved pecan pie and he was a fucking fat glutton.
Right. I mean, pecan pie is pretty tasty. It is my favorite kind of pie.
Yeah, his generational wealth goes back at least 5 generations to, I mean, incredible wealth.
Right.
So this point where if his father even made him live like a regular person, making him get a job at some point, he would think, well, I'm poor, man. The old man isn't giving me $1 million.
I have nothing because I'm not being given everything, so I have nothing.
Yeah,
I have to earn things.
So I think that, more people should know about Tom Segura. And not like he fucking matters to anybody, but when he's beating up on the fucking people who have less than him, it's not his mindset that fucking made him wealthy. It's his father. It's his father who made him wealthy.
I get disturbed when I see things like that because I mean my father had millions and millions and millions of sperm, and he only gave me one.
Right.
So that's selfish.
You are one.
That's selfish. That's selfish. Of all the sperms he had, he just gave me one. That's it. Selfish. What?
Is that that's where it ends? This is where it ends, folks. Goodbye.
What do you mean? Listen, I rode with this trucker years ago. I hitchhiked from City Island to Anaheim, California. And this guy told me jokes for like 3 days, just joke after joke after joke. And I didn't laugh at hardly at like maybe a chuckle, a tee-hee at a couple of them, maybe, And then on the third day, he tells me a joke. And I just start laughing just incredibly. Like, I can't stop fucking laughing. And he says, he's like, man, I didn't even think the joke was that funny. And I was like, it wasn't. I'm laughing because I can't believe there's someone that can tell this many fucking jokes and not a single fucking one of them be funny.
And
that's
all these years
hilarious.
later, the guy sends you a package of weed that you can't open. Imagine that. The odds of that.
Dude, Jackie makes me laugh all the time. I love Jackie.
The joke is on Willie.
One of my favorite things about Jackie, because I've watched his new special like 3 different times now, but I gotta watch that stuff when my wife's not around because she just looks at me funny. And so it's always fucking great. Like my wife will be gone or whatever, and she'll come back and I'll be watching that. And like the first fucking thing she'll hear Jackie say is just some nasty, nasty fucking joke. And she's just, man, I just fucking die, bro. I die.
Wait, Jackie tells dirty jokes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm confused. Your wife lives with you, right?
Yes, we live together.
And Jackie can actually say something to her that you have not said. That's shocking.
Okay, so I think what it is she's surprised to hear someone else besides me say things in the same vein. She's like, God, there's other people. I feel like she's discouraged by the fact that people encourage my behavior. You know what I mean? I think that's what, because like she'll walk in, she hears that joke, and she's like, he's never going to stop doing what he's doing if this is what he's listening to.
Oh, yeah.
The Reverend did get one person who wanted to correct his history of Santa Claus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to mention. Glad you mentioned the Rev, because last night I was going through the clips. Now the show, other than being blasphemous as fuck, it's very funny. And I was just in the first 5 minutes got 3 good clips, and there's still like an hour to go here of good short clips.
Nice.
But I put up the one, the Appalachia one, which was making me giggle like hard. And then some idiot finds it and they feel like they have to educate you because he says, Lord, I know I don't know where that is, but I also know I love to say Appalachia. And this person feels like they have to educate. I've removed like half of the comments because they want to give us a history lecture on Appalachia being in Louisiana, how it got its name and all this stuff. Like, do you not understand this is comedy? I mean,
maybe that's what happened to the viewership. They don't know that it's comedy. It's like even by the
it's in the comedy category.
Yeah, but that could be like a mistake. I don't know. I don't see, because to be honest, I kid you. Okay, I'm gonna let people know that me and the Reverend are actually the same person. Okay, just
no, stop. Come on, don't give me that bullshit.
And I have shown up to. I kid you not. Oh man. Okay, the Reverend did my funeral a few years ago. Okay, a few years ago.
Wait, and you died?
Yeah. So I had my urn. My urn was up there.
I remember.
And the Reverend did the service. And then when people came to the comedy show, the Reverend was at the door and he was like, saying, "Thank you for coming, thank you for coming," and he's giving everybody these little.
You're supposed to do that when they leave, right?
Yeah. No, it's my show, damn it! Don't tell me how to run my fucking show. Damn it! You do your funeral the way you want to. I do my funeral the way I want to.
Yeah, all right.
So the Reverend's at the door, and as people are coming in, he's going, "Thank you for coming. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm sure that he would appreciate it." And so he's handing out these little programs about the funeral. Now it has the picture. Have my picture on the front, when I was born, when I died. And then you open it up, and it has my obituary. And then the program, what's going on in the program, and then there's this, and on the back it has like www.sogdfunny.com, and with my logo on the back. And when people left the show, not everybody took their flyers with them, so some people picked up flyers like a week or two later, but they kept them for some odd reason. I show up as me. And I did another show like 4 or 5 months later, and a comedian goes, "What do you? I thought you were dead."
It wasn't really broken up about it either, right?
No, he thought he was getting my minutes.
He didn't fucking send flowers, did he? Yeah,
that would have been my
that guy died. That means there's jokes up for grabs.
My wife hasn't heard a word from you. You thought I was dead. You didn't fucking bother to call her and say, do anything I could do for you. None of that. You thought I was dead, and you fucker.
Oh, that's I got worse stories than that. But yeah,
how'd you die, by the way?
I can't remember because I've died so many times and I've had so many funerals. So I can't remember how I die each time.
Well, I gotta say, I got fucking lambasted, and I mean, like, they wanted to fucking tar and feather me for being Hank Porter playing, but I never faked my own funeral. I can't imagine how fucking angry these fucking people would get if I tried something like that.
Bro.
Yeah.
People be mad as fuck at me,
Well,
dude. Like mad as fuck at me, dude.
yeah.
Dude, you know what sucks is like I've gotten to a point where like I can't even die accidentally in a bunch of different ways because people will just think I committed suicide. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be careful how I actually fucking die now so it doesn't seem like I killed myself.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's a
no,
dilemma.
I can't do a funeral thing. People would fucking be livid.
You can't
People
just
would be
violently
livid if I
die.
fucking did that shit.
Yeah. That's now. Here's some of the other stuff that was intriguing. Because I don't know if you guys know. I'm gonna do a will here. I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a Billy the Kidophile.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
You definitely need to come and hang in New Mexico. Then we need to go do some shit here.
What do you think I went to New Mexico in the first place? That's exactly why I went out there. When I was a kid, I got it into my head that I had like some kind of connection to Billy the Kid because he was born in the same area I was born in. He was born 100 years, according to the first the reports now, because his birthday has been disputed, but exactly 100 years before me, 100 years older than me. He was born in 1859 and went out to New Mexico from New York, born in the lower east end of New York, and was basically orphaned. And I had no parents at that point. I was
you took care of yourself,
right. So I just felt like this kinship with Billy the Kid. So I went out there to find out, just to see the area he grew up in. Plus, I was a bit of an outlaw when I was a kid. So all that stuff fascinated me. And then, just visiting all the sites and stuff and doing all the digging around there. He was and still is probably the biggest money maker for the state of New Mexico as a tourist.
Oh, he's a rock star here. He's a rock star here for sure.
So I've been following and reading everything I could for decades and decades, and I know there have been lots of guys who claim to be him. And the brushy Bill Roberts story has been debunked to my satisfaction enough times. But I've been going down the rabbit hole on YouTube with this stuff playing in the background while I'm doing my reels and stuff, and seeing a lot of evidence. If brushy Bill Roberts was not Billy the Kid, he was an incredible scholar of Billy the Kid and knew everything about everybody connected to him, people, friends, relatives.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not hard to do either.
It sure was. In 1881, when the kid died, and right up until 1955, you didn't have the internet. You didn't have all those.
All you got to do is find his diary.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm talking about like in visiting those places. I mean, because like, and even now, dude, like it's a topic of conversation that people are like excited to talk about. So I don't think it would be hard to find those things out. The breadth of
the detail in his stories,
right?
You wouldn't find it, and some of it goes against the Pat Garrett story, the Morrison story, J.D. Morrison stories, all those stuff, and the medical stuff backs up Brushy Bill more than it does Garrett or Morrison. So all that stuff, and the stuff about his remembrance of the jail and how they altered the buildings and stuff, spot on. So if he knew that stuff, he spent all his time in libraries just researching Billy the Kid. And in 1900, that would still been in Muleshoe, Texas. Wherever the fuck he lived, in Muleshoe, Texas, or wherever. An impossible task almost. So there's that. If he wasn't Billy the Kid, he sure did. He spent his life fucking digging for more information about him, which seems like a wasted life if you think about it.
Right. Why would you do that?
Right.
I have the answer to your question as to how I died.
How'd you die?
Can I read it
on stage?
Yeah, he has like defending your life on stage, like you.
Yeah.
First of all, I called it a bio bit. I called it a bio bit. Okay.
Bio doctor.
Bio bit. Let's see. G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, died September 4th, 2017. G.D. had just gone into labor negotiations. He wanted to keep the baby, and his wife didn't want him. His wife didn't want him to have a cow. He had the cow, and it hurt his pee-pee, and he bled out. So
yeah, if you have a cow through your pee-pee, you're probably gonna bleed out, dude.
Yeah, so that's how I died. Apparently, I had a cow through my pee-pee, and I bled out.
It's not that interesting.
Ow!
To be honest with you.
Fucking ow! Talk about a way to go, Jesus.
Yeah, no, we need to be a little more creative. You got to up your death game.
You probably sounded. You
That was
probably
my first
sounded like Arnold
obituary. Okay, I've
Schwarzenegger
had
while
other
that was
ones since
happening.
then. I'm just
my pee-pee.
The only reason why I have this one is because somebody found it at the church because I didn't keep one.
This second 500 run is not starting off that well.
No, what he's not telling us is that's actually from the comedian that thought he was dead. He took it down from the shrine that he had for GD when he thought that GD had passed. He made a little shrine and made that the centerpiece of it. But when he found out GD was still alive, he gave it back to him out of respect.
Yeah, the Lindbergh baby. The Lindbergh baby mystery has lasted 91 years. Tantalizing evidence may solve it.
What
Lindbergh.
in the hell is the Lindbergh baby?
Oh, you don't know about?
I have no idea what this is.
You know, Frank Sinatra Jr. was kidnapped at one point too. You know that about that one, right?
No, I did not know that Frank Sinatra Jr.
Yeah,
was
Frank Sinatra Jr. was kidnapped, or he might have faked his own kidnapping. That's still a kind of conjecture too. But no,
I just want to
Charles
say,
Lindbergh baby. What?
With you pointing out my gullibility, I'm now leery of every fucking story you're going to tell me.
Good. Good. You should be. The Lindbergh baby was kidnapped, and they found his body in the woods. Now, Charles Lindbergh didn't have a whole lot of security in the day, even though he was like the biggest celebrity of his time.
Nazi.
And
when was this?
I want to say 1925, 26, something
Jesus
like that.
Christ. So we're talking about a baby that was kidnapped in 1925?
Well, let's say 91 years, so it's got to be the 30s, right?
Yeah, Lindbergh was a Nazi before Nazi was cool.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know. He didn't really say he was a Nazi. But he was. I think he was.
It's like I don't have to say I'm black. People know.
Wait, what? You're black? I can't have him on the show. What would my German ancestors say? How did I get this guy on my show? Black.
Oh my God.
You're
not really.
They wouldn't
black.
say Muyan. That would be your German ancestors would say.
No, I have it on good authority from genuine, real black people that you're not really black.
You know what, Jeannie? I'm gonna go get my hair braided, and people aren't gonna be able to tell us apart.
No. I have a stack of letters from authenticated black people who say that guy's not black. He's fake.
How do you get authenticated?
Oh, well.
If the letters are misspelled and written in Ebonics and they showed up late, they're from black people.
Because you authenticate them because they know that Santa was a white supremacist. Well, listen, where did he come from? Santa Claus came from the whitest place in the world, just white people.
Montana?
No.
The North Pole.
The Netherlands or whatever he came. No, he didn't start.
Are we talking about the folklore Santa or the real Santa that lives up at the North Pole?
Saint Nicholas, who became Santa Claus, was from
You're thinking of the Santa Claus that lives in the RuPaul. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, but so we were educating Willie on the Lindbergh baby. So they put a ladder up to the window. Now they're having a party. A cocktail party. People downstairs having a party, and he's
like in a New York high-rise or something.
No, in his house in Princeton, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they went into his yard and they put up a ladder up to the second-story window where they stole the baby out and were, trying to get ransom out of him. I wasn't that rich. even though he was famous. He wasn't all that rich, but they didn't get the ransom, and then they found the baby. What would it get learned? Not Low. Who Low? What were the guys' names? The two guys who went on trial for it, and they were convicted and given the death penalty for killing the baby. But there was always conjecture that they didn't really do it. They were just
patsies.
Yeah,
they weren't even patsies. They were back. They were immigrants. They had very poor English speaking skills.
Right.
They had very and because they were German. I think they were German.
Yeah, they were German.
Yeah, because they were German, they were treated like doo-doo.
Yeah.
But this was back before they needed the Germans to be white so that they could pad the census.
The story is in Popular Mechanics. I got to check it out.
Popular Mechanics?
Yeah, because they're talking about the ladder.
Probably about the ladder.
They show you how to build the ladder. They show you how to build the ladder that they use. That's why I said Popular.
You gotta have a sturdy one. And it's always good to have somebody at the bottom of the ladder holding it.
Yeah,
especially when your partner comes down with the baby. You want that to be a sturdy ladder.
Because the ladder broke, they dropped the baby and they didn't get the money.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure YouTube's going to strike this. This sounds like.
Also, it's worth mentioning that crabs can't decide where to live.
I'm so glad there's a disclaimer.
Which is why they move from one testicle to the next.
Right.
They can't decide.
Driving scientists crazy because crabs keep going back from the water to the land to the water to the land. It's like, make up your mind, crabs.
Yeah.
Where's the search box here? Because I want to find Lindbergh. They got so many stories here. Popular Mechanics is the place to go, man, for all your unimportant news. I don't know. I can't remember the guys' names either. It's just bothering me. I'm having like senior moments here. It was definitely very German names, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were convicted of it. But now there's new evidence that says they might not. And there was always conjecture that they were just, an easy way to close the case for Princeton police.
Yeah, they were totally set up. The guy. They were fucked over. They were fucked over. Like Sacco and Vanzetti was fucked over. Yeah. I mean, immigrants got, even the white immigrants got fucked over, until they needed them in the census.
Hauptmann and Low, right?
Yes, that's Hauptmann.
Bruno Richard Hauptmann.
Yes.
Was the guy who was, yeah.
That's why the B. I was thinking it had a B in it, and it's the first name, Bruno. Okay, got it. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll read this and have more information on it. Now, the other, I don't know if you know about this. Are you guys follow the James Webb Telescope stuff?
When it pops up in my feed, I don't pursue it.
So all these high-level physicists, not all of them, Ed Whitten still isn't on board, but Brian Cox, even deGrasse, all these people, James Webb
talking about
Telescope.
the code?
No, James Webb Telescope was sent up to verify that the Big Bang was the beginning of the universe. And it did the opposite. It proved that it wasn't. They saw 28 billion years back before the Big Bang. And some of them are claiming, are we seeing the face of God? These are scientists, high-level physicists.
Now this is so weird. Okay, that much. You ever watch something and you fall asleep and it affects your brain, you just don't realize it?
Yeah,
I woke up.
Osmosis, bro.
Yeah, I woke up and I was thinking to myself that maybe the Big Bang was literally. I woke up and I said to myself, maybe the Big Bang was the death of God. Okay, and I don't know where that thought came from. So I may have fallen asleep listening, and the YouTube just kept going and going because I literally I woke up and had that, and I was going to use it in one of the Reverend's things because it just like in my brain that the Big Bang was the death of God and not the beginning of life.
Right. So in 2004, I think it was Brian Greene was doing a lecture at Stony Brook University, and somebody put it on MySpace at the time, and I said, ask him what happened, what happened before the Big Bang? What came before the Big Bang? And man, did I get a bunch of fucking hate from that. Like, you know what? Nothing happened before the Big Bang. The Big Bang was the start of everything. What a stupid imbecile you are. Blah, blah, blah. All day and night, people were ridiculing me. I said, I'm not so sure. And now we know that the Big Bang there was 28 billion years before the Big Bang. Who's the idiot now, guys? MySpace. Yeah, I should go back on MySpace looking for those people, and all I'll find is like
does MySpace even still like function?
Yeah, it's a music site. I was just being silly, but I was just gonna imagine Tom sitting there in his basement, like, where'd everybody go? But 28 billion years is a long time. That's just the stupidest sentence ever uttered. A long time, because the Big Bang supposedly happened 13.8 billion years, so that's more than double going back in time. Interesting stuff, but they're all claiming to see the face of God out there.
You know what's interesting is that, like, if you like follow the genealogies or whatever, like true like Bible following scholars or whatever, they say the Earth is only like 9,000
6,500 years old or something like that. 6,000 or 7,000 years old. Yeah, they're
like
idiots.
9,000. Like through the genealogies, it's somewhere between like 8,000 and 9,000.
They're idiots.
Like that.
Yeah, they're idiots.
And which to me only like exemplifies the ridiculousness of believing that for like the truth of everything. Like, I'm not saying it's not a good book. I'm not saying it doesn't have good things in it, beneficial things in it, but it's certainly not anything that should be taken as the absolute stitch of truth.
Now, I just want to point out that Kelly abuses me all the time, and nobody ever writes her letters saying you're too rough.
Bro, you were massively abusive to the Bean Flicker back in the original. Like when she became the Bean Flicker, like you really went after her.
Like how? First. What do you mean? I did not. You're making this up. You're lying.
No.
You're lying.
I swear.
You're lying.
Like if you look back at some of the so my first episode was episode 85, so it'll be after that.
Oh, you're muted.
Am I?
No.
Am I?
No.
No, I'm. Don't.
He's kind of gullible.
First of all, Will, I don't like the fact that you're disparaging everything and saying me. I'm
he's
a
so
real
gullible.
book. I'm a real book, and you just sit there, you. How dare you? Oh my God!
That reminds me of the clam. Let me show you the clam video,
bro. You saw me hitting this, right? Like I'm way too high for that. Don't be talking to me at
a Lindbergh in 1938 received the Order of the German Eagle with a star from Hermann Göring on behalf of Adolf Hitler.
Right.
Oh my God.
I think I modify my statement that he never really came out as a Nazi. Because if he accepted an eagle, the German eagle from Hitler,
I mean, you would think so. That's pretty accepting.
This is one of America's greatest heroes, supposedly.
Hitler wouldn't even give Jesse Owens a medal that he earned.
Right.
And he's going to give wings to
And this isn't like really early. This is 1938. Hitler was already full.
Yeah, he was full grown Hitler.
Yeah, he was already Hitler
was not a nice man. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
Well, I don't know. Did you ever meet him? He was nice to dogs.
He was not
German Shepherds. He loved German Shepherds.
I'm just going to put that out there. I don't think Hitler was a nice man.
Well, it depends on who. To who? I mean, dogs. He was nice to dogs. He had a little problem with Jewish people and Christians and
handicapped.
Everybody.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with GD on this and say that very.
Don't be jumping on the bandwagon now, Willie. Don't be jumping on the Hitler was a bad man now, Willie. Where were you in 1945, huh? Where were you then? Yeah, you're gonna come all of a sudden in 2020.
I'm pretty sure I was Stardust.
Jump on the bandwagon. Oh no, sorry, Willie. It's too late for you to jump on the Hitler's a bad man bandwagon. You can't do it now. It's too late.
Listen, I want to shove a pineapple up his ass just like the next guy. Okay.
Okay. His sexual proclivities are set aside. All right, set that aside. I'm talking about historical Hitler was not a bad. And what's going to happen? They're going to fictionalize him just like Santa Claus, and eventually, like 150, 200 years from now, Hitler's going to be like dropping presents down the chimney to all good little Nazis. Okay, that's what's going to happen. They're going to fictionalize them, and they're going to have their own. The Nazis are going to have their own little holiday in December, and they're going to make it just before whenever Hanukkah is. They're going to make their holiday come like the week before holiday, so you can say the Jews copied. And they're going to say Hitler brings good little toys to good little Nazis down the chimney. That's what's going to happen in 200 years. Watch. Write that down. Write that down, Matt. 200 years from now, it's history.
Well, I won't be here to read it for you. I can write it down.
Aren't you taking those little pills? Or did you send them all to Willie?
You mean the patch? Oh, no. I got to send that to Willie. No, I stopped taking those pills 4 years ago.
You're going to die.
Did you have any adverse
pills,
effects,
by the way.
Did it do anything bad to you? I want to know that beforehand.
Well, I had a full head of hair when I started taking
it. Don't fucking tell me that.
Your carbon molecules.
Listen, bro, don't fuck with my hair. I love my hair.
You stop taking the carbon molecules, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Yeah. Terry Furtado, is that how you pronounce your name, Terry? I'm sorry if I'm not.
Looks like it.
Where's Joel Davis? DeAndre. I don't know about DeAndre. Joel Davis is scheduled for 10 minutes from now. So we're expecting to be in the program in about 10 minutes. You sit tight, I guess. And what GD's last show once again? Why? Who said it was GD's last show? I didn't say it was GD's last show yet.
Well, I think she was just assuming based on the fucking rant he was going on that would be the next thing he would say.
Oh. Well, don't assume stuff, Kelly. Now you were saying that I was brutal to Kelly.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, okay. You were you were really questioning the whole what is this bean flicking? Like, how often are you flicking this bean? Like, you remember you really questioned the whole bean flicking
because I never heard.
It was new to you. It was new to you.
Yeah, like GD is with me. Our generation did not call it that.
No.
Yeah, my generation also calls it clicking the mouse.
What?
Clicking the mouse?
Oh, clicking the mouse.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what
you know what? I got to say, yesterday I was remiss, and you guys don't fucking help at all. I didn't play a fucking single commercial yesterday. Now,
you didn't play any commercial?
You did start because
I started. I was just showing. I was just displaying because we were talking about his sexy Taco Bell voice or Taco Joe's voice or whatever, and I started a little bit of the Naked Wine stuff to show Andy Willie's sexy voice.
My phone,
but I couldn't stand
my phone is starting to suffer from Willie-itis. Whenever you play commercials, my phone was like fucking up like it didn't used to. I mean, it's like I was seeing the commercial like way after hearing it, way after it was gone. My phone is like I was trying to see if there's like an update on the app or something. I may have to
I should contact StreamYard with these bug issues. They probably don't even know about it. Nobody's.
Well, I didn't know. It wasn't. Yes, it was when I was actually trying to fix it. That's why I kept switching earbuds and stuff like that, and it just kept happening. So now
I get a notification every day that I come on. I get a notification that it's having issues
connectivity
with Chrome, which is what I use Chrome to come on here.
You have to. That's the only thing that works.
Yeah, but it tells me that I have connectivity issues, which it didn't used to do.
It tells me that for using Chrome, I'm going to have connectivity issues.
It just started doing that yesterday.
All right. So, there's all sorts of, I don't know. I might have to switch services at some point on this stuff. But I do have to run an ad because I didn't run any yesterday. I should probably run 2 today. I'm not seeing anything from Joel Davis about him not being able to connect. So I'm assuming he's going to be here in 7 minutes or so. But for now, let's learn about Creative Live. Which Ian hates the B-roll in his commercial. Let's analyze the B-roll in his commercial and see what Ian hates about it.
All right.
It's time to unleash your creative excellence. Dreams won't work if you don't. They never happen overnight, and they rarely follow a straight line.
That's a little weird.
Excellence is the result of the hustle, consistently pushing to do better. And success looks different for everyone. CreativeLive.com charts paths and tailors content for students.
Now that dance,
but they also encourage independent thinking and exploration. Go outside of your comfort zone. Who knows? You might actually like it. Right now, you can get up to 70% off through this exclusive offer for Coffee with the Dog. CreativeLive.com has site-wide sale for Coffee with the Dog listeners. Save up to 70% off. Go to minddogtv.com and click on the link on the homepage now.
Yeah, Kelly's defending the whole bean flicking stance there in the chat room. I don't know if you know about this, but listen, there's nothing to defend. I'm not being judgmental about the process of it. I just never heard the terminology before. Right. It wasn't something that my generation called. We just called it fingering yourself.
Yeah.
Rubbing one out, stuff like that.
I closely watched that video, and one of the things I didn't know is that, first of all, Branson is still claiming that he's a member of a virgin group, which I doubt that he's still a virgin. So that's the first thing that I have an issue with.
Now, he was offering free, not free, but flights to outer space. I don't know if he's still planning on doing that, but
I think they are.
I wanted to do a GoFundMe to send the head of the Flat Earth dudes out to outer space with him.
Oh my God, that would fucking be awesome.
Yeah, like, come on, now claim, that you didn't do it. Bring a phone up there. Let's, let's film your whole experience. Look out the window. Is the Earth look flat to you?
They will find a way to justify this. So, well, we weren't outside the plane. It could have been projected onto this windows. That those aren't really windows, those are screens. They'll find somewhere. If they really want to believe, they'll find a way to believe it. Don't waste the money on them. Send me.
Why? Send GD, because I'm not going. Ain't no fucking way I'm going.
I don't think I would go either. I mean, I would want to go with the Flat Earth guys just to rub it in their face, but it's a little scary of a proposition for me.
I'm not getting shot into fucking space. That's not happening.
but it's low altitude space.
A fighter jet, sure, I'll go in a fighter jet, but not in a rocket ship. No, thank you.
No, it's not really high space. It's low space. It's just at the condom sphere. You're just breaking out the condom sphere, and
oh my God.
I don't know if because when we were having them on with Zach last year, because I was working on a movie or something, and Zach was really excited about talking to Flat Earth people. So I hooked him up with Dave Weiss, who was the leader of the Flat Earth cult. I was looking up people that will take you to space. There's a place in New Zealand that does it by balloon.
With balloons?
Yeah, a balloon up to space. That is a little scary for me, because sooner or later, I mean, how do you control a balloon when you get up to the guy who?
I've been in a hot air balloon. There's not a whole lot of control to that flight.
Oh yeah, but you can control it. What it is, because there are different air currents going at different elevations. So if you want to go, let's say that way, you go to the elevation where the air currents are going that way.
I mean,
that
you
catch that air current, and then if you want to go back the other way, you lower yourself and go so you can do it. It's just not an exact. It's just not
right. Like there's not. You don't have great directional control.
Right. You don't have any rudders. You don't have any rudders or ailerons or steering wheels. You just have to know your height.
I mean, there are ways to steer it, because I remember when I was riding in the hot air balloon last year. We were on our landing. We were probably within 2 feet of a house, but this dude, he pulled on one of the wires, which adjusts the balloon somehow.
It doesn't. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, and it turned the balloon, and turning the balloon, he turned the basket, and he turned that fucking thing perfectly to where we fucking just went around the corner and missed that house.
Our guest is here. Our guest is here. Before we bring him in, I just want to clear this up. Spaceperspective.com. I think doesn't say if they're New Zealand or Australia. Propelled by a space balloon, trademark technology used for decades by the likes of NASA, Spaceship Neptune, is the first carbon natural way to travel to space. No rockets, no G-forces. Experience gentle, meticulously crafted spacecraft in one of a kind space lounge place. It looks like a very cool place to hang out, even if it doesn't go to space.
So is it like what? Does it look like a high-tech Zeppelin?
It looks like a very cool cigar bar or something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a circular thing. Yeah, and space flight. It takes it's a 6-hour journey, complete with a meal and cocktails. Great place to take a first date. Hey, baby, want to go to space?
How much?
I'm looking for the price.
Free to good home.
And like what? Like, it's enclosed then? Like what you're traveling?
It has
in?
to be. The air shoots in and it's cold as fuck.
You're going up to where you would be freezing.
Well, who knows? Maybe they put you in some stupid spacesuit or something. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm asking.
Now that would be too expensive to have a spacesuit for each person. You have to make just one big container.
Well, right, you would think. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They don't have the pricing here, but last year when I looked it up, I believe my memory, and we know how spotty my memory can be. Oh, book now. If I click the book now, hold on.
Is there a Groupon?
$125,000 USD. Wow. So if you're going to take a date up there, it's going to be $250,000.
Yeah,
$250,000.
But I mean, if you got money like that, I'm sure there's plenty ladies that would
6 hours for $250,000.
Just think what Gilligan's Island could have done because they had 3 days.
Wow. All right,
but,
time to what?
Like no, it's also a one. You know, that's not something you're doing a bunch. You know what I mean? So it's probably like a once in a lifetime experience that very few people are ever going to get to do. You know what I mean?
I wonder if Joel Davis has ever done that. That's my way of saying, shut the fuck up, Willie. Our guest is here. Joel Real Deal Davis is a stand-up comedian, former pro wrestler, MMA fighter, and motivational speaker. He's here now. Let's welcome in Joel Real Deal Davis. Joel,
hey, Matt. Hey, how you doing, gentlemen? Matt, thanks for having me on the Mad Dog TV here.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Mind Dog. That's it. Yeah. Hey, I know these guys. I've seen these guys on a couple of your shows. It's great to see William not freezing his balls off this time.
Thank you.
Well, if you actually watch the show, you knew just one ball.
Just one.
You're not a real fan. You don't know that he has one ball.
Here.
And this is GD over there. He's not lost for words, man.
Now, Joe, let me ask you where you're from, because you just said GD over there, like I would say, hey, GD over there. But I don't think you're a New Yorker. Are you in New York?
I'm originally from New York, but I ended up in Massachusetts. I took the wrong exit.
So you voluntarily became a masshole.
Yeah, I voluntarily became a masshole.
Now a lot of comedy.
It's probably a natural transition from New Yorker, right? I mean,
yeah, a lot of comedy up in Massachusetts. And are you in the Boston area?
Yeah, I'm south of Boston, man. Yeah, so Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Yeah.
You know Alan Richardson? He's a comedian in the Boston area. That you know that guy?
Yeah, I don't know him, brother. No, I haven't heard of him.
Man. He's got a great bit about Mario.
I assume that you guys knew each other, because like the day before we got a guest request from you, Willie said he knew a lot of wrestlers, and because I was saying I'm sick of having just comedians on. He said, I know a bunch of wrestlers. How about that? And I said, yeah, I would love to talk to wrestlers. You guys don't know each other?
No, not directly.
Just a coincidence then, because it was basically the same day that he brought that up.
The one thing I know about, I did Google William just to get an idea of who I'm going to be dealing with, and I found out he's related. He's a brother from another mother from Conway Twitty. Is that true? The musician.
I don't.
Although I do have a great country voice, that is true.
He is a descendant of Colonel Lee, Tom Lee Willie Conway or something.
Yeah, Colonel Thomas Conway. Is actually one of my ancestors.
And his sister's breasts are known as Conway's titties. I'm sorry.
Now, Joel.
Yes.
I'll just say the name Real Deal, is that a MMA name, or is that a wrestling name, or is it a joke name?
No,
Where
it's,
Real Deal
it's,
come
no,
from?
it's a real name, man. I got that name in 91, GD. 1991 in pro wrestling, right out of Killer Kowalski school, Walter Killer Kowalski.
Wow.
The
Okay,
name,
so did they assign nicknames like in the Air Force, or did you pick your own?
well, you get a ring name by your persona and what you do in the ring. You know, Kowalski. He said, you're the real deal. I mean, after Holyfield, of course, in boxing, but in pro wrestling, I'm the only real deal in pro wrestling. I live up.
So you do card tricks then. So that's you.
Well, I do card tricks on people's faces.
Got it.
Yeah, I would. Hank. I shouldn't say I. Hank Porter was known as the real deal, and it pissed a lot of people off in the country music world. But we'll move on past that. Now, pro wrestling. Was that growing up? That's what your big passion was. That's what you wanted to be, or did you just kind of get into that because you were a big, strong guy? And
well, I've always been athletic, man. I played football, boxing. I got my first pair of boxing gloves at 10 years old. Got in some trouble. I beat up the neighbors. I put one of the kids through the closet door, and the mother come out yelling, "Hey, what's going on?" And she loved boxing. And then I liked the pro wrestling. I liked the show part of it. And then as I got into my teen years, I got into the backyard wrestling, in 86, 87. And we had a backyard wrestling federation with a cardboard on the ground, the poles a few feet into the ground, the yellow rope, man. And we did this right through the freaking winter. I was Gentleman Joel, bare chested, white sweatpants, gentleman down the side in Marca, 10 championship. I went undefeated. And it wasn't rigged back then either.
That backyard shit was pretty fucking real.
Yeah, man. Well, I was boxing. I was boxing, gentleman, and also started working to pro wrestling with Kowalski, and I was training with Chick Charles Rose, who brought a couple of the athletes to the U.S. Olympics.
Wow.
So I was doing both in 90, 91. I got out of high school in 87, and the woman I was living with at the time said, "You got to pick one of these. You can't do both," because I wasn't around, and I picked the pro wrestling, eventually, I got into MMA.
Right. I'm interested in pro wrestling now. In the 90s, it probably was better than because Hulk Hogan was on Rogan and he was talking about
heyday,
before the Rocky movie he was in. What was that, 3 or 2? That Hulk Hogan
Rocky
was in?
3 he was in.
3. Yeah, he said before that it was pretty much dirt poor, even though he was very well known in the wrestling world, and I don't know, champion or whatever.
Yeah,
WWF. Yeah. But it was it basically paid nothing. By the time you got into it, was it a lucrative career in the 90s?
Well, it was. I started in February 91, Matt, and I debuted in October of 91 out of Killer Kowalski's. And it was 10 months of training. I broke a left ankle in the process. I trained with Triple H, who's in the WWE right now, who's a part owner. He was in training with me. Also, Perry Satin of the Eliminators was in training. China, Joni Laura, who's a female wrestler who's passed away since. And it was a tough racket in those 10 months. And the ankle got broken. I came back. Kowalski was surprised that I came back. I didn't have all the advantages some of the other athletes, as far as height and everything else. And then in 91, I debuted IWCCW, International World Class Championship Wrestling. That's this one right here.
And where's that out of?
That's remember the I don't know if you follow pro wrestling at all, but the Von Erich brothers were big in Texas, and it was the Freebirds and the Von Erich. So it was Texas. And they merged with New Jersey, the Savoldi League, which was ICW, and it became IWCCW, International World Class Championship Wrestling. So that was my debut with Sports Channel America. They put me up against Irish Farm Boy Muffet. This guy was like a modern Haystack Calhoun, big dude. He had to be freaking 500 pounds, squashed me, and that was the beginning of the career. But as far as making it was difficult. You get $50 here, $25 here, and man, It was tough. It was
it doesn't even pay for your training expenses at that point.
No, man, and you beat up, and you see the chiropractor, and you're
there's no medical coverage.
Yeah.
There's no medical coverage, man. But you get a lot of crazy chicks in the fan. You know, the fans a little bonus. You know what I mean? The fans like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I hang out with I literally hang out with like maybe 5 or 6 former wrestlers, now comedians. And when they get together, I think if you let them talk for 5 minutes, by the 6th minute, they're already talking about wrestling again. How long in a regular conversation before you start talking wrestling tales?
Yeah, man. You know what, GD, it's a good question, but no, man, I'm not. That's done, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's done for them too. They're not wrestling, but it doesn't take. Some girl may walk by and they go like, "Did I ever tell you I fucked a so and so sister?" She remember the guy, the guy that used to wrestle, but and they'd all get into the wrestling stories.
Yeah,
and literally it takes like 5 or 6 minutes, and it doesn't take much. The conversation could be about football.
Anything can trigger it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and if just something triggers it, it's like a bubble floats to the top of their beer, and they go, "Did I ever tell you about the time I was staring at the ceiling when I was being pinned by,
Right. Yeah, man. I got so many stories, brothers. You wouldn't even know, man. There's so many road stories and ring rat stories, and you know what I mean. It's just crazy. But that's a great question. That you brought to the table here on the podcast this morning. But I'll tell you, unless someone brings it up, I'm not even going to talk about the business, pro wrestling. Because pro wrestling is a business too. I'm not
because I've watched two so far, 2 of your videos, and not once did you mention wrestling. Now I think they mentioned them in the beginning. They did, like when they do the introduction, and I think they mentioned. I think they mentioned Jerry Springer also.
Yes. Yes.
But but I never.
For that or what?
I trained for Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I was flown out 2 times to Chicago in 1999 as a guest on Jerry Springer. I was on Secret Lovers Tell All, and Steve can't stop me,
bro. I don't know how I never got on like Springer or Maury. Like I was for sure that one of those shows was going to be called one day. Like,
man,
what they were just going to call you? You didn't audition for him. You were just waiting, looking at the phone, thinking Jerry Springer's going to call me any fucking minute. What?
I mean, if I was a producer, I'd fucking hire this guy William Conway. Man.
But you'd have to know about it.
The reason I say that is because like some chick that I used to like. You gotta remember, bro. I've got 6 kids with 7 different mothers. I thought I'd probably end up on Maury someday. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, for fuck's sake, I for sure thought one of these bitches would get mad and fucking, whatever, like in whatever fashion, because it was always drama and none of them ever wanted me around. They all,
That's what I said. Did you ever stop to think that once they got rid of you, they just didn't want to see you again, not on television?
No, I mean, that's probably true. That's exactly what happened. They're like, I'm rid of that fucker. Let's be gone. Yeah.
If you had money, they'd come after you. But
I think exactly.
I think Willie dodged it like the draft, man. You get out of there, man. You get out of like the sight of it. They probably were thinking about giving you a buzz, but
so Joe, with Springer, did he tell you to like? Do they tell the audience they want you to fight and get out rowdy and all that kind of stuff? Do they prime you for that, or is that all?
Hey, brother.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, man. I can't talk about that, brother.
NDA.
NDA. Oh, they make you sign an NDA?
I bet they do.
He's dead.
Would not surprise me in the least.
He's like Nikolai Tesla.
Yeah.
Dead.
Jerry Tesla is not dead. I'm telling you, he's on an island with Elvis Presley.
I was just going to say that. Jerry and Elvis are freaking singing somewhere right now.
Wow.
Springer, but honest to God, gentlemen, just so you know, I got to know Springer somewhat, not really that well, but the second time I was on the show and they flew me out, I got to speak to Jerry briefly, and every other word was F out of his mouth, and he's a real character. Even
which F? Because I know like 6 F words. So which one did he?
Well, fuck. I mean,
yeah, you can say whatever you want here. This is.
Okay. So he never mentioned me. He never said Fenderson.
he never mentioned you. I don't know why.
I don't know what you got to do to get Jerry Springer to mention your name.
He probably talked about Tom Segura a lot, though.
Probably, yeah.
Well, Jerry's funnier than Tom Segura.
I mean, oh man,
almost everybody is, except for
everybody is pretty much,
except for GD. No, we've already acknowledged that he is. So
yeah, we did.
Oh,
we
he did.
Now,
Slightly,
but they took it back.
Tom Segura is right here. GD's right here, right?
Yeah. So now I'm curious about, because motivational speaker, you want to be taken seriously as a fitness coach and health coach. You want to be taken seriously as a stand-up comedian. You don't really want to be taken seriously. How do you kind of navigate those two worlds?
Night and day, man. Night and day. So it's a whole different ball game, you know, Matt. So so the motivation speaking, I had about 4 years and running with it. Anti-bullying, self-defense, and staying fit, living your dream. So mostly children-based crowd up to senior citizens. Just basically, you know, and staying fit, living your dream, talking to the children about, don't matter if you got one parent, where you came from, if low poverty, and you can live your dream, you know, and I'm living proof of that. You know what I mean? You know, I was brought up, you know, by one parent, and, you know, not so well, like, you know, financial, and, you know, I had severe asthma, scoliosis. And I tell the kids, look, hey, listen, you know, I made pro wrestling, you know, trying to, you know, motivate the children, bring
Which
the
parent? You said you had one parent. Which one?
Yep. I was brought up by my mom, and yep. So
did she teach you to wrestle?
No, I knew you were gonna come up with something, dude.
What?
No, she
I was just asking.
No, man,
look, I'm just saying.
Listen,
I watched some of.
Joe,
the,
don't let it bother you. This is his last day on the show.
I watched some of
last day on the show a long time ago.
No, I've watched some of your old wrestling moves, okay? And it looks like your mother taught you some of them, okay?
Oh, really?
Like the
Well,
one
she
with
must
I'm
be a
just
strong
teasing.
woman.
I'm just teasing.
If you would like his home address so you can go beat the shit out of him, I would be happy to.
That's a hot shit, man. I just don't want this conversation to get in like it was with Allison Dye, and you start talking about breast size and freaking bras and shit.
Wow, I forgot all about that. Yeah, we were supposed to get him off the show.
And that was his last show.
Yeah.
And poor Willie was freezing in that show.
You know, this is interesting. Why have you got a space heater, Willie? It's what changed?
Oh, he's warm today. He doesn't have his old shit.
Is it just warmed up in New Mexico or something? What's going on?
No. I mean, there's a couple things. We negotiated the turning on of the heat in the house, which was critical. We also started shutting the back door, which helps. You know,
that helps.
The reason the back door, so we always leave our back door open because we have dogs that go in and out through the night or whatever sometimes. But so we just kind of decided to.
Now that's the epitome of laziness. You leave the door open so you don't have to let the dog out.
You could close the door and put a door
not
in
my
it.
dog. No, our dogs stay in our room with us at night. So when our dogs want to go to the bathroom, they're like up in our face, and we got to get up and let them out. You know.
All right,
like,
get it off of you.
Plus, my dog will run off, so I have to when she goes to the bathroom, I bring her back in because if I don't leave her I don't like tying her up in the backyard if I don't have to.
See, this is how the show goes off the rails.
I was going to say, man, you ask this guy a question, he'll tell you the whole story.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
Concise is not his thing.
My bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this about me, but because okay, so back in there was this guy, and you know what I mean.
I gotta tell you something though. So this weekend I stopped at the gas station, the one just by my house, and the clerk says something to me, and I was like, huh? And he goes, you don't talk much, do you? And I was just like, what the fuck?
All right, you're muted.
I was like, maybe not to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
all right, wrap it up.
I'm sorry.
Joe, let's talk about your stand-up. Let's talk about your stand-up comedy.
He talks a lot more, Matt, when he's warm.
Yeah, I see that.
When he was cold, he didn't say much, right?
He talks all the time. I mean, he's just
not that cold show though, not the Halloween show. He was quiet.
Well, I think I was cutting him off, or GD was just talking about boobs too much. But the fact is, he basically just rambles, but he never says anything. He talks. He just keeps talking, but he never says anything.
He ain't making sense, but.
Tell me about stand-up and how you made that transition and why you made that transition.
That's it. I mean, I just ended up getting into stand-up. It's a little over 1 year now. It's at the point of my life that, you know, I'm done with the professional wrestling, the MMA. I had that short career in MMA, mixed martial arts, cage fighting, motivation speaking, and you know, as I was growing up, I always enjoyed comedy. You know, back in the Backyard Wrestling Federation days, we also did our own like movies. You know, from in the war, you know, chasing people and shit, and you know, L ended up becoming like, you know, tackling people, and you know, because I always liked the, you know, the combat shit, and it was that was going. Then I tried commercial. I did Claiborne Cologne and Ked Shoes. Both commercials sucked. They never made it. I tried. And then I did some theater. I was in the theater play Robinson and Caruso. Wow. I was Friday. I had one line. I said, "Me Friday, you Robinson." I didn't mess that up, I don't think. And so anyway, and then when I did Spring of '99, the producer of Spring said, "Hey, Joel," he says, "You're pretty funny, man." He said, "You know," but at the time I was going to be engaged to be married. I was engaged to be married to somebody else, by the way, not the woman I was with. But anyways, that's another story for another day. So, and now this time, this part of my life, Matt and gentlemen, I thought, hey, let's give it a shot. So
how did it start? Did somebody was you go to an open mic and somebody said, you know, push you up there and say, "Guy"?
Well, I did an open mic on November 1st, 2022, for a guy named Parada out of Rhode Island. I just tried it out, and I got prepared myself. I took it serious. And Parada said, he says, "Hey," he says, "I got to get you in front of people." He says, "You have potential." And I was like, all right, I didn't know if he was just shitting me. And within like 3 weeks, he had me on a poster, and I was in front of, you know, a crowd of like 150 people. And I've been going.
What is Kelly saying here? Now, your Matt's not a gentleman. He called the other two guys gentlemen, not me. Just to be clear about that.
So Joel, you did a joke, a bit about meeting a woman on, I think, the Plenty of Fish or something, and she was like 500 pounds. And in the video, if you look, there's a woman that's roughly fits that description of what you're talking about. And her friend is like looking at her laughing, but she is not laughing. No. And I would think that she would have been laughing. You could tell she'd be laughing because you'd see some kind of movement or something.
That's a little uncomfortable, I guess.
Right. That's what I was going to say to him. Were you aware that there was a woman that large sitting directly in front of you when you did that?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I really didn't care. I mean, because that's my
well, you got to stick to what your plan is. No, exactly. you can't change your act.
Honestly, I mean, I'm going to do jokes that are realistic, and that really happened. That was the one that, and I talked about the woman getting her nipple chewed off. I don't know if you've seen that one, and they could, and the ladies were laughing, Matt. And
do you still have the nipple?
Say again?
Do you still have the nipple after you chewed it off?
It wasn't me chewing the nipple. It was a female chewing another female's nipple.
Ouch.
I don't know anything about it besides that, man.
Oh, okay.
I do know that the woman in front, the heavyset ladies, if this is the same gig you've seen, they laughed about it. And I said, "Hey, did this happen to you?" Because she seemed to kind of relate to it, you know.
That's uncomfortable even to think about. Now, could you bleed out from that, from a nipple being bit off?
Oh, here we go.
I bet you could. I bet you could.
Why? There's not enough blood there for that.
I would think there was a ton of blood there.
I mean, it's gonna bleed. Like if you don't like address it, if you just you got to put pressure on. You got.
Well, if there's no blood, how do they get hard?
No, I didn't say no blood. I said not a lot. You know.
Well, it's not a lot.
But I mean, dude, when I cut this mole off my face, like that bled like a motherfucker until I fucking put pressure on it.
You would never make it in MMA.
Say what?
Soft. You soft. A little bit of blood on my face. I can't make it.
No, I said, if you can bring it back to Joel and get off you guys for a second.
No. He just called me soft. And you realize that you said that right after I said I cut a mole off my fucking face. Well, myself, not a doctor or something like that.
Don't wind this guy.
Anything off your body?
I'll wind up now.
Yeah, it takes a lot of moxie to cut a piece of your body off of yourself, bro.
I did my own circumcision. Okay, I didn't want to hear the
God. And that's why you're an innie.
You got two of the best here with you, Matt. Two of the best. Doesn't take much to get him going.
I don't know what
you should see the rejects, Joel. You should see the ones he turned down.
I don't know what I've done to deserve the blessings I've gotten, but I
good.
certainly must have done something right in my life to.
Hey,
this is medical information for everybody. People can learn.
We completely skipped over the Real Deal's MMA career. I want to hear a little about that.
Well, Matt, whatever you want to know.
Yeah. No, I definitely would love to hear about that. Now, MMA definitely implies anyway stuff like karate, jujitsu, and that kind of stuff. But I would think as a wrestler, that's enough. That's all you need is that one skill, right? Or am I wrong?
No, I need more than that. Yeah. So I started martial arts like karate in 2009. And then I did a little jiu-jitsu in 2009, 2010. I already had some boxing skill, but I concentrated in 2009 and 2010, gentlemen, in kickboxing. I was more of a fighter. Yeah. So I was sparring, and I trained 10 months, and I fought in 2011 for Cage Fighting Extreme. And it's 3 rounds, and on ground, and then standing fighting, and it's a lot of training, man, for one fight. And you sign a waiver. Literally, I signed a waiver, and the waiver had stated that the organization promotion is not responsible for fatality.
Wow.
Right.
Die and you got to get all the different blood tests and guacamole tests, and you have to be licensed, and your cornermen have to be licensed. So I had Ambrose and I had Shahari, which were 2 different dojos I was training in, but they were competition in the city. You see what I mean? So one was a stand-up, you know what I mean, guys? One was a stand-up, one was an on-ground. So I had those 2, and they didn't get along. And they were yelling shit to me. I could hear my opponent's guys yelling across the whole cage. But those 2 guys were like, I'm like, I probably made a mistake.
I think if I were applying for a job and there was a disclaimer on there that you could die on the job and you have to, give away your right to any claim of a dying on the job, that would make me think maybe I don't want to work here.
Well, comedians can do that. We just don't sign a waiver. We can die on stage. We just don't sign a waiver.
I die on stage all the time.
I think everybody does sometimes.
But but that's Willie. No, that's Willie's final act. That's his. His final act.
I do an act out that is like it's called slow death. Anyway.
Yes, it's basically what you are. It's slow death.
yes. It's very.
But just
so is this fucking over yet? Jesus.
Just so you all know, you're all in comedy or somewhat. You're in entertainment. The 3 of you gentlemen, it's a rush like anything else. And the MMA it's a huge rush. When you walk into that cage, man, and they're checking you and you're showing your mouthpiece and you're getting in there, man. It's a rush, man.
Now, I've had a few jiu-jitsu people on. I've had more than just a few. I've had lots of them on. People with dojos teaching jiu-jitsu. There are 2 schools. One that takes it as just a very just completely, and everybody takes it seriously, but one is a sober art and the other one is a stoner art. Which do you are you a part of that stoner jiu-jitsu or non-stoner jiu-jitsu?
Well, I mean, I really can't answer that question. I don't know really what the fuck you're talking about.
Another NDA.
We
the 10th planet people who believe that smoking, getting stoned out of your mind before you learn jiu-jitsu enhances.
I think getting stoned is going to be against you fighting, as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I would think.
They tell you not to mess with chicks either before you get out there. That was
Women weaken legs. That's from the Rocky movie.
We all make mistakes in life, man. I remember going out the night before the fight. That was a big mistake, man.
Oh yeah.
I was out all night. I had this chick spinning her around and shit and drinking, and the next day is the fight. Wasn't the right thing.
I used to be a sparring protege back in the day, and one of the things that I used to think of, I didn't do the sex before I would have a match or before I would spar with someone, but I would think of ex-girlfriends that would really get me enraged. But you can't be too enraged because then you lose control. You have to be able to be somewhat responsive to what they're doing and not so much rage that you're just attacking. But yeah, I used to think of my exes to get because I'm not really an angry person. I'm a very,
that's a good way to be though. That's the way I am too, brother. I mean, I for me now, it's just like not much bothers me. Life's too short, man. You know what I mean? To sweat the small shit in life, so.
But now I kind of want to talk to you about this because, and not I agree with you that life's too short to sweat the small shit. But
can I say something real quick before I forget?
Sure.
You have such a professional look there. Your background, it's almost like, and I hope I'm not disrespecting, but almost looks like a Howard Stern look. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard that before. Doesn't it? Is that Conway?
Okay, first of all, Matt doesn't know who Howard Stern is. You may have to.
I'm not familiar with that name.
Yeah, of course he knows who that is.
No, he has no idea. He's never heard of.
Did I hit a nerve? Did I hit a nerve?
No, not at all.
No.
Early in my career, I was called a Howard Stern wannabe. By a program director. No, I don't fucking carry these scars from it. Believe me. But I have lately because I had Jackie Martling on almost every other week now, and it seems like I'm trying to do what. I find myself trying to incite fights among these guys just to get ratings. And I'm like, maybe he was right. 40 years later, maybe he was right. I am kind of trying to be Howard Stern. I never thought of that.
You're basically the morning guy out of New York City, man.
That's so I'm Robin Givens?
He's the morning guy. The morning guy. He is the morning guy.
Yeah. I definitely think you are kind of Robin Givens-ish.
Who's that? I just want to be funny than Matt DePora. What's the guy's name? The other guy's name?
Tom Segura.
Oh yeah, I want to be just funnier than Tom Segura. That's all.
You did that by showing up.
That's all I needed to do. Hey, look who's back.
Yeah. Where'd you go, Willie?
Bringing up Mr.
Okay, that's enough.
Fart Man. Mr. Fart Man, Howard Stern himself. I can't believe he had the audacity to ever call himself Fart Man. My wife will tell you nobody blows it out their ass like this guy.
Wow.
Just saying.
Okay.
Where did I want to go? Where did I want to go with Joel? Oh, here's where I wanted to go with Joel. I was talking about Billy the Kid this morning. The fastest gun in the West. When you're a fighter, a professional fighter, and I've known a couple of professional fighters, and I don't even know if you consider yourself a professional fighter, being a wrestler, MMA guy, I guess. I knew boxers, and when they were out, everybody wanted to take on the fastest gun. And that's a kind of like you always got to fucking fight. Almost your whole life, people are just like trying to push buttons, trying to challenge you and all that kind of stuff. Do you deal with that?
I got to tell you right now on the podcast, this is what, Coffee with the Dog? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Coffee with the Dog. I got to tell you something. And this is a shoot. You know what a shoot is? Meaning this is 100,000% real. I've been on, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 television programs, 25 podcasts. That is one of the best questions. And no one's ever asked me that.
Well, I get that every once in a while.
No, that was a good one. That was a good one. You probably stayed up all night thinking it out.
No, I did. I just I like talking to people. That's
a great question, and it's so true. And that's a problem. It's like you're almost always challenged. If I feel the heat in a certain town or a certain state or where I go, because I do the nightlife. I'm a single guy, so I'm doing the nightlife, on a regular basis. I'll stay away from the area just because, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's not even some guy with beer muscles that wants to try me. It might be some females that just want to try to get my attention, you know what I mean? And try to work me up a little bit. I mean, I've had guys come over to me, try to give me a shoulder and their beer spilt on them. And then I look at them like, what? And they're like, oh, excuse me. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing in it. There's no upside for you in fighting any of those guys. They're first of all, most of the time, I'm certain that most of them are not professional fighters. They just got it in their mind, beer muscles or whatever happened. And there's nothing. If you kick the shit out of them, beat them senseless, you get nothing or maybe arrested. If somehow or another they end up beating you, well, you don't get nothing out of it. There is no upside for you in that. So
there's no upside at all, especially at stand-up comedy now. Excuse me, what's that, Jitty? Stand-up comedy, I want to just I want to be the good guy. You know what I mean, Conway? I don't want any problems. I just want to go up, do my gig. I mean, some of my comedy is very controversial. I do the Joe Biden impersonation. I talked about foreign people in 7-Eleven and Middle Easterns need to speak English correctly. Shit like that. That's controversial. But that's just my persona. But otherwise, besides that, I don't want any problems. I don't, you know what I mean? So I just go up there, try to be the good guy all the time, you know?
So have
even
you
if there's fat people in the crowd, like you said, heavyset woman.
Now being single, have you been with
here we go.
No, I'm saying, have you been on a date where the woman, once she finds out that
like
you know
this.
how to handle yourself, does she get like a little extra mouthy? Because I had an ex.
Shit. I know exactly what GD's saying.
Yeah, see, I had an ex that when she found that I used to be a sparring protege, she said, wait a second, you used to box Golden Gloves, you used to wrestle, you used to do martial arts. And then they get a little mouthy, and especially after 1 or 2 drinks. You know, you have that. And what's your favorite method to diffuse a mouthy woman like that?
Wow.
Just
Matt's having flashbacks.
You know what
now.
it is.
Yeah.
Give it to him. Give it to him. Just give it to him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to be on the gentleman. I'm trying to be a gentleman like Matt. One gentleman.
No, I
you know what you do. You know what you do, man.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's a pain in the ass when women I remember back in the day, like women wanted to get me into fights. It's like trying to drag you into fights. It's like I don't need that in my life. I just don't need it.
Was that happen yesterday or how long? When did that happen? It's like a regular thing going on with Matt.
Yeah, not in a long time because I don't ever leave this chair now, so it's not a whole lot. But back in the day, let's talk about fitness because I don't know what fucking.
Because we are not. We have no idea what fitness.
I don't know what fitness means anymore. I mean, I know what what people generally think of fitness and shape, muscles, and all that kind of stuff. But more I hear about it, I'm thinking sometimes thin or less muscle bound, all that kind of stuff. If I had my sense that I have now, I would have never become a bodybuilder when I was young because I paid the price for it once I hit 50, my mid 50s. Forget about it. I lost my lower back. I have no vertebrae, in my lower spine, L4 to L3, L2.
This guy likes that story.
Yeah.
No, but it happens to a lot of people, Matt. I heard that just recently. I did independent personal training for a while, and I've always tried to stay somewhat fit. And I had just a couple friends ask me not too long ago, and say, "Hey, how about the lower back? What are you doing?" I showed them, one exercise they could do. It's a common thing that happens. But as far as being fit, I've never had a swimmer's body. I've never tried to, be a bodybuilder. Just I like to be powerful. So I do a lot of benching, a lot of the pectorials, the bicep, triceps. But I'm not going to be going to any contest for bodybuilding anytime soon. I never did, even in pro wrestling.
Right.
Even in MMA. MMA, I had to get down to 170 though, guys, which is my lowest weight ever.
Wow.
I fought at 170. Right now I'm 205.
I think my dick weighs 170.
But that's grams though. That's
okay. Oh, we were talking pounds.
Well, you guys, I can't really see, but you all look like you're in pretty good shape, man. You don't look bad. No, you don't look bad. I mean, you don't look. If I was to guess your weights, I could probably guess all your weights right here.
Willie says he's in the best shape of his life, or he said that 2 days ago.
I'm getting there. Yeah, no, I'm pretty good.
All right.
I'm about what I was like in high school.
Take a guess at my weight. I'm curious.
Now I already wrote mine down. So
well, Matt, you're tall though. Matt, you're way taller than people think.
This will be like
Willie,
the carnival.
Shut up.
This will be like the carnival. Like the carnival, you get a teddy bear if you guess it right or whatever.
Well, yeah.
Who am I start with, Matt? Not with Matt? Okay, so Matt's weight is 265.
That's probably close. That's probably very close. All right. You got me.
JD?
Okay.
JD? He's got, I know he's got the dreads. I know that comes into play there. I like those, by the way. That's cool, man.
Thank you. They're mine. I grew those myself.
That looks good, man. It really does. Nice. Hey, do you play another part on this show? You're not the freestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that real quick. See, I watched this show too. Conway left. I'm getting you next. All right, so GD, yeah, he looks like he's a little bit taller than Matt. I have never seen him before, but he looks a little taller. Matt's probably about 5'10", but I think GD might be 6 foot. And by the way, I look at him. And
I'm 6 foot, by the way.
You're 6 foot. Okay, so 5'10". Yeah. So I'm going to give this guy here. You were 265, Matt. This gentleman right here, he's 10 pounds less, 255.
217.
Oh man,
I'm only 5'7". I'm only 5'7".
All right, so we're about the same height.
You're only 5'7"?
You're 5'7"?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're like a land.
And this is the little guy right here. Conway is a little guy. No, I don't mean it that way, man. Bro, come on. I know you're from Route 66. I see it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago Bears fan. You know what I mean? I have to go with this guy here being 225.
I mean, that's probably pretty close. I haven't weighed myself in a while. I was about 217 the last time, but I probably put on a couple.
Wow, you
went to a buffet this weekend.
Same number.
Here you go. Here you go.
Is that my price?
You get first.
I get my selection.
You get your selection because you got Matt's right and you got Willie's right, so you get your selection.
All right, I take the furry lion, please.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
What a cheap ass carnival this is! Holy shit!
I know.
Wait a minute. We gave a. What do you mean cheap? We gave away a T-shirt on Sunday.
Did we?
Oh, I like one of those shirts, man.
I don't know where to send my ticket, but I never knew where to buy the ticket for that contest.
I thought you were giving away.
We can do it next week. You get a shot next week. I'm going to give away a T-shirt every week.
All right.
I thought Matt gave out blunts. Like he's smoking right there.
Oh, yeah. You think Matt gives those away? Hell no.
No, you don't give them away.
I refuse to do blunts. I did blunts somewhere in the late 90s, and I don't like it. First of all, I got enough.
I love blunts. That's what I love smoking blunts, dude.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Joe, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been paid in? What's the weirdest currency you've ever been paid in for either wrestling or comedy? Because like I've been paid in weed, I've been paid in food, I've been paid in alcohol. What's
the weirdest payment I received ever was in Queens, New York, and it was for LI. What's that?
That's not a surprise. I'm
just saying, I worked for a guy named Bobby Lombardi. You know Lombardi?
No, just somebody with that name.
Bobby Lombardi. He owned his own cab company, and he ran a professional wrestling event out there in Queens, New York, at the Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School. And I was promised $300 for my fight. I was a tag, and at the end of the night, he said, I can't do it. I can't do it at 3. I said, Bobby, come on, man. I came from Massachusetts. I said, you promised me 300. He's like, don't worry about it. He says, I got you. I says, that's what you got. He says, here you go. He gave me a key. I stayed in like a red light district hotel with the red lights blinking and shit. It was terrible, man. It was a little.
Did he send you entertainment? Later?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, there was entertainment walking through the hallways all night, man.
I mean, but was it his?
I had no money to pay. I had no money.
Queen's version of the comedy condo, right there. Now, you guys blew your job today. Both of you blew your job today. Did you hear the alarm go off?
Oh no!
Oh no!
We got to say goodbye to Governors.
We have to say goodbye to Gov.
3 minutes.
What is this?
Yeah, Governor's Comedy Club. We're on their network up until supposedly 10:45, but that passed 13 minutes ago. Got to stay tuned for Knock 'em Dead comedy radio, which I really should be much nicer to because